Hi all, this is John at the Model Haven, and I just wanted to thank all you guys who have subscribed to my channel. I just reached 100 subscribers today, which is really awesome, so thank you very much. So to commemorate, I thought I'd create a quick video and show you guys a couple of vintage kits I've picked up over the last few months. These are both Tom Daniel kits from the early 70s, and they're both funny cars. So let's take a look. Alright, so these models may look familiar to you guys. If you watched my first video, I had talked about each of these and how they were the first couple of models I built. The Mustang 2 funny car is actually the first model I ever built, and I've been collecting a few of the models I had when I was younger over the last few months, and for the most part they're easy to find on eBay, and they are not too expensive. But these two were sort of the exception. These are fairly rare. They don't come up very often on eBay, and when they do, usually it's either a partial or it's already built. It's hard to find ones that are complete and unbuilt. So I just set up some saved searches and kept tracking them for a few months, and was able to get these two. The most interesting thing about this one is that it's actually still in its sealed wrapper, so it's never been opened since it was new, and I haven't opened it yet. When I eventually build it, I'll probably open it on camera so you guys can see it for the first time, same time that I do. And you may notice there's a couple pieces of tape on here, but it looks like the previous owner had just taped some kind of card to the front of this or something. The tape is not covering up any tears in the cellophane. As far as I can tell, the box is a tiny bit crumpled, but not enough that I think it would have damaged anything on the inside. And the cellophane is still intact, so I don't think that it's ever been opened. The other interesting thing is that it still has a price tag on it. I don't know if you guys can see that on camera, but it's from Kmart, and it's marked as $1.76. So probably the one that I built was from Kmart too. Most of my early models came from there because there was one just down the street, and that was the cheapest place that you could get models if they have the one that you wanted. So if we look at the date on this one, let's see if I can find the date. Yeah, here it is. So it's copyright 1974, but I think that this series of Tom Daniel's snap together funny cars actually came out a little earlier than that, in the early 70s, and they did a reissue, and this is probably part of the reissue. And I built my first model when I was, like 5 or 6, and I would have been 5 in 1974, so that the date works out pretty well to my memory. So, and another thing you'll notice about this one is that it's the one on the cover here is in orange, but if you look at this side right here, you can see a version of it in orange and a version of it in yellow. And then it says this kit is molded in one of these color combinations, so you don't know until you open it what color you got. The one that I built as a kid turned out to be yellow, and I'm guessing this one will probably be yellow too, but I don't know for sure, and we'll find out when we eventually open this one and build it. And I don't know that I would actually end up painting it either one of those colors. I might. It's something I'll have to think about, but I do have this other one here, this rip-off, which is a Plymouth Duster funny car, and it has the exact same chassis. It's really just the body, the funny car body, that's different. And this one actually is one of the earlier issues. The most obvious way to tell is if you look at the date on this one. It says it's 1972, so it's dated a couple years before the other one, even though I think these all came out at the same time. Another clue is all these earlier run ones, it says a Tom Daniel design in several places on the box, and the later ones don't say that. And then a last clue here is with these snap-tight kits, they have this kind of older style snap-tight logo down here, which you can see. I can get that a little closer. Which you see on the older ones from the early 70s. And then on the mid-70s ones, they switched to this, which I remember well from when I was a kid because I built a lot of snap-tight kits. And I remember the puzzle piece type logo on that. But that's a clue that this one's a little older. And this one is also complete, but it has been opened. So the box is in pretty good condition. There's a little bit of water damage, but it's not too bad. But we can open that up and take a look. So we have the instructions here. And again, it says a Tom Daniel design, a picture of Tom Daniel, which I think is only on the earlier kits. And then we have our decal sheet. These are pretty aged. I don't know that I'm actually going to be able to use these at all when I do build it, but I might attempt to use them. We'll have to see, but at least they're still here. We still have the original ones. And as you can see, this one also says that the actual color may vary. The one on the box here is yellow, but then when you open it up, the actual body is in orange. And this is exactly the same as the one I had that I built when I was younger. It was in orange as well. But aside from the body being the same, there are a few differences from the one that I built. One difference is that the glass that comes with it is smoked. It's tinted, dark, and the one I had built had just regular clear glass. So I think that's a difference they made between the two series. And then another significant difference is that a lot of the parts, like the rails here, for example, are molded in white, as well as the front wheels and a few other pieces. So on the one that I built, actually all of the ones that I built from this series when I was younger, those parts were actually molded in sort of a metallic silver. So you didn't have to paint them. They look exactly like this even if you didn't paint them. So I think that's something they changed, figuring that if you didn't want to do the painting, they would just mold those in silver for you, because probably you wouldn't. I mean, maybe you would keep the white, might be kind of cool, but probably not. You'd probably either go with a black or some type of metallic on that. And then one other difference is that you can see on this kit here, let me see if I can find a good example of it, maybe right here. You can see that the blower is just kind of sticking out of a cutout in the body. And that's the way all the ones that I built were. But this one, despite having the same engine and blower, you can see there's this kind of large cowl built into it. It's actually a separate piece, which is something I had never seen before. And that piece is in here as well. It's on this sprue right here. So it's kind of interesting that it was slightly different, but for the most part the same. So I'll probably be doing this one, maybe the next build or the one after that, but hopefully not too far in the future. And I probably, even though orange is my favorite color, I'm probably not going to do this one in orange, just because I already did it in orange once when I was a kid. And actually, I think it looks pretty awesome in this yellow on the box, so that's one possibility. Or I might do something totally different. We'll have to kind of see when we get there. But yeah, that's really it for today. I just wanted to show you guys these kits. They were they were a little bit expensive just because they don't come up that often, and when, especially these ones that are sealed, typically when those come up on kits that are rare, somebody will just price it fairly high, and they weren't super expensive, but they were a little bit more than I would normally want to spend on a vintage kit. But I figured for these two, because this one's definitely the first model I ever built, and this one may be the second. If it's not the second, it's one, third or the fourth, one of the really early ones. So there's a high nostalgia value on these for me. But yeah, that's it for today. I just wanted to show you guys these cool little Tom Daniel kits. So I will have another update soon on the Camaro. Almost done with the interior, and that's what we'll go over next. So again, thank you very much for subscribing. That's awesome. I have 100 subscribers, and I will catch you guys all in the next video. Thanks a lot. Peace.